Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Mohammed Paika. I'm double board certified in internal medicine as well as obesity medicine. And today I'd like to speak about something that is incredibly practical. Not the newest supplement out there, not the latest diet trend, but something that's much simpler and maybe relatable. Today I want to share 9 foods that I personally eat regularly as a physician. Foods that constantly show up in research on metabolic health, cardiovascular disease prevention, brain health, and longevity. After practicing medicine for many years and also being at the bedside, treating patients with conditions such as diabetes type 2 or type 1, obesity, fatty liver disease, heart disease, hypertension, the pattern becomes very clear. Chronic disease rarely appears overnight. It's a slow process. It develops often over 10, 20, or even 30 years. And many times these diseases are strongly influenced by our daily habits, our daily dietary habits. So what we eat repeatedly, day after day, week after week, and year after year has a profound effect on how our metabolism actually functions. And let me tell you something very interesting. When researchers study populations that live longer, in places like Mediterranean regions or certain longevity populations around the world, they rarely find complicated diets. That's key. And what do they find instead? Instead, they find something very simple. People eat real food. They eat whole foods and foods that either come from plants or animals, but they definitely don't come from factories. So today I want to walk you through 9 foods that I personally include in my regular diet, and I'll explain why each one supports long-term metabolic health. And let's start with something extremely basic. Number 1, water. And even before we talk about food, we have to talk about hydration. Many adults walk around mildly dehydrated throughout the day without even realizing it. And one reason is that the thirst mechanism becomes less reliable with age. By the time many people actually feel thirsty, their body may already be experiencing mild dehydration. In medicine, we frequently measure something called GFR, which tells us how well the kidneys are filtering waste from the blood. And what we often see is that many individuals begin showing declines in kidney function earlier than expected. While some decline is part of aging, chronic dehydration can increase stress on the kidneys over time. And hydration actually affects multiple systems in the body. For example, the brain. Even mild dehydration can actually impair concentration, it can impair memory and your mood. Also, the cardiovascular system. When the body is dehydrated, the blood can become slightly more concentrated, and that can increase strain on the heart. Also, the digestive system. Dehydration often contributes to constipation and slower digestion. Muscle function and physical performance can also decline when hydration levels are low. Because of this, I personally try to make hydration a routine habit rather than something I only respond to when I feel thirsty. So whenever I wake up or walk into my kitchen, I tend to drink a glass of water. If I'm at work, I keep water nearby throughout the day. It's a simple habit, but over decades, it becomes extremely important. Let's move on to food number 2, eggs. The second food I eat regularly is eggs. Eggs have been debated for many years because of concerns around cholesterol, especially in the yolk. However, modern research has shown that for most people, dietary cholesterol has had a minimal impact on blood cholesterol levels. The body actually regulates cholesterol production through the liver. And eggs are nutritionally valuable for several reasons. First, they provide complete protein, and that means they contain all 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot produce on its own. Maintaining muscle mass becomes extremely important as we age. And loss of muscle mass, also known as sarcopenia, is associated with lots of issues and an increased risk of falls, frailty, as well as metabolic dysfunction. This can all lead to a loss of independence later in life. Eggs can also provide choline, which is an essential nutrient involved in brain function and neurotransmitter production. Choline also supports liver metabolism, which is important when we consider conditions like fatty liver disease, for example. So eggs are filling, they're nutrient dense, and very versatile. They're one of the most simplest ways to incorporate high quality protein into your diet. So I'd recommend eggs, if you're not allergic, that is. Number 3, cottage cheese. Another food I eat regularly is cottage cheese. Now, cottage cheese is an excellent source of protein relative to calories, which makes it particularly useful for people who are trying to maintain muscle mass while managing energy intake. Protein has several metabolic benefits. It promotes satiety, meaning it helps people feel full. It also slows the absorption of carbohydrates when eaten together with carbs, reducing the size of post-meal glucose spikes. So that's important. And large glucose spikes over time can actually contribute to insulin resistance, which is one of the underlying drivers for metabolic disease. Cottage cheese also provides calcium and B vitamins, supporting bone health and energy metabolism. And for people who are interested in metabolic health, cottage cheese can be a very practical food to include regularly in their diet. Food number 4 that I have in my diet, walnuts. Walnuts are one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linoleic acid. Omega-3 fats have been associated with reduced inflammation, improved cholesterol levels, and also better cardiovascular health. Walnuts also contain fiber, magnesium, vitamin E, and antioxidants. Several large population studies have shown that people who regularly eat nuts tend to have a lower risk of cardiovascular disease and a lower overall mortality. Of course, nuts are calorie dense, so portion size matters here. So I wouldn't take in a lot of nuts. Typically, a small handful per day is sufficient to obtain the benefits. Number 5, edamame. Another food I enjoy regularly is edamame. And these are young soybeans, essentially. Edamame provides both plant-based protein as well as fiber, a combination that supports metabolic health. And protein and fiber together help stabilize blood sugar levels and increase satiety. Edamame also provides several important nutrients, which include folate, magnesium, potassium, and iron. Soy foods also contain compounds called isoflavones, which have been studied for potential benefits in cardiovascular health and cholesterol balance. Edamame is minimally processed, nutrient dense, and easy to incorporate into your meals or snacks. Let's move on to food number 6, spinach. Spinach is one of the most nutrient-dense vegetables available. And spinach provides high levels of vitamin K, magnesium, folate, as well as iron, and plant antioxidants. Leafy greens like spinach also contain dietary nitrates, and these nitrates are converted into nitric oxide in the body. And nitric oxide plays an important role in vascular health by helping blood vessels relax and expand. This process supports a healthy blood pressure, improved circulation, and better cardiovascular function. Spinach is also extremely low in calories but rich in micronutrients, which makes it ideal for individuals focusing on metabolic health. Food number 7, salmon. This is another food which I try to eat regularly. Salmon is one of the best natural sources of EPA and DHA omega-3 fatty acids. Now, these omega-3 fats have powerful anti-inflammatory effects. Chronic inflammation contributes to many diseases, including heart disease, metabolic syndrome, as well as neurodegenerative disease. Omega-3 fats support cardiovascular health and brain function, and also cell membrane integrity and insulin sensitivity. Salmon also provides high-quality protein, vitamin D, and selenium. Eating fatty fish 1 or 2 times per week is strongly associated with improved cardiovascular outcomes. Number 8, blueberries. Another food I regularly include is blueberries. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, a group of plant compounds responsible for their deep blue color. Anthocyanins have powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. These compounds have actually been studied extensively for their role potentially in brain health and cognitive aging. And some research suggests that regular berry consumption is actually associated with slower cognitive decline. Blueberries also provide fiber and are relatively low in calories, making them supportive for metabolic health. And food number 9, extra virgin olive oil. One of the most important foods for long-term health is extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil is a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, which has been studied extensively and is consistently associated with lower rates of cardiovascular disease and longer life expectancy. Extra virgin olive oil contains monounsaturated fats and polyphenols, which help to protect the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels. Healthy endothelial function supports a normal blood pressure, supports a healthy circulation, and reduce cardiovascular risk. Olive oil also helps improve lipid profiles and reduce oxidative stress. The key is to use extra virgin olive oil because refining removes many of the beneficial compounds. When it comes to longevity and metabolic health, most people do not need complicated diets or extreme restrictions. What matters most are consistent habits built around nutrient-dense whole foods. Foods like eggs, walnuts, spinach, salmon, blueberries, edamame, cottage cheese, and extra virgin olive oil. All of these foods support multiple systems in the body at the same time. And over years and decades, those small daily choices compound. They compound into better metabolic health, better cardiovascular health, and a longer, more active life. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to this channel. And do let me know in the comments if you'd like me to cover other topics. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.